up guys, WWE Fan Talk here, bringing you guys an awesome video review today. Today we have the brand new Ultimate Edition Series 14. So this set has Jeff Hardy in his awesome white gear and the brand new Tribal Chief. And the cool thing about Roman Reigns figures, it's good or bad depending on your viewpoint, is that Reigns has the smallest little details changed on his gear every once in a while. And it's cool to get those little details on your figure. And they really get you there because you're buying pretty much the same exact figure every single time with just a different colored gauntlet or a different head sculpt. But this time we've got an actual completely different figure with the Ultimate Edition body and 3 different head sculpts and a plethora of accessories. But again, we do have the Jeff Hardy, not a WWE superstar anymore, more like a AEW wrestler. I think he's currently with AEW. Like, I know he is, but I know he's like on rehab or something like that. But I'm excited to crack both of these figures open today, and then we're gonna see just how great they are. I mean, they look great, but are they good in the hand? Let's check it out. Are they as good as they look? I don't know. Let's check it out. Let's see. Stay tuned. Alrighty, so we're gonna start things off with the Tribal Chief. Let's get started with the Tribal Chief. I know he's a main eventer, but in this video, this is the one I'm looking forward to the most. So let's crack him open. Cutting open the box. So this Ultimate Edition set looks exactly the same. The package-wise, you do have the open, I guess, open window or door, I guess you could say. On the top right here, it does say the Tribal Chief. I'm not sure if you can make that out. There's also a lot of cool sayings and stuff throughout the package, or catchphrases that Roman Reigns uses. Ooh, no way. On the back of the shirt, there's a little surprise. We'll get into that in a second. But there is the Ultimate Edition Roman Reigns packaging. Putting that off to this side. So this Roman Reigns comes with a ton of accessories, and I've been waiting for an Ultimate Edition Roman Reigns just because we've gotten so many legends in the Ultimate Edition lineup, and now we're finally getting modern guys. I know Jeff Hardy, this is like a Legends Jeff Hardy, but he is a current wrestler, so it's cool to get a current wrestler. Let's pop out the most essential accessory. We got the Universal Championship, or as a lot of YouTubers in the wrestling community call it, the Blue Universal Championship, which is pretty sweet. I always look for little details and little changes on these titles because I feel like they paint it differently every few figures. This one looks a little bit different to me. I could be wrong. Maybe they printed it a little bit different. I know the sculpt is the same, but the paint looks a little bit more bright or something like that to me. I don't know. Universal title. Maybe I'm just looking for changes in things we've already gotten. Then we have his, I don't know what you call this, his necklace. It's some sort of lei or something maybe of royalty in the Samoan culture. They do look like peppers, but I think they're shells. I'm not quite sure. If you do know exactly what this is called, please leave it in the comments down below because I probably sound stupid right now, but this is what he wears, so pretty cool that we're getting that. We do get a fist, regular fist, and then we also get a Superman Punch Glove fist with that new texture. There's like a, no, it's not a texture, it's like a raised. It's like raised pads on his gauntlet fist, which is so badass. He also does come with a t-shirt, a Bloodline t-shirt right there, which only has the Universal title on it. This figure is not based off of him as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, whatever they're calling that championship right now. 2 titles, whatever. There we have the Bloodline shirt, and then on the back it says, "We the Ones." So, yeah, We the Ones right there. Pretty cool that we're getting this shirt. This looks so awesome. Pretty excited for that one. And then we get 3 different head sculpts with this figure. 2 of them we've already seen before. This one's brand new. This is his like spearing head sculpt, hence the hair. We got one just like this with Edge. This one's really cool though. I know some people are probably going to crap on this just because it is screaming and it's kind of hard to get these right, but I think that this looks like Roman screaming. I mean, come on. We don't always look pretty when we're screaming. We don't look awesome when we're screaming. We're furious, right? It's like an ugly face. Who thinks screaming is attractive, right? So there's a Roman Reigns face. Doesn't look the best, but also Roman doesn't always look like Roman's straight face. I mean, he screams, right? Right? It sounds like I'm probably spitting out a line of you know what, but whatever. Then we have the Man Bun promo head sculpt right there. Cool that we're getting this one again for those of you that couldn't get a hold of this head sculpt. So there we have that. And then we have the final figure. Let's see if we can just pop them out. Slide them out of the package. So this over here. Here we have the Ultimate Edition Roman Reigns, and this is going to be the figure that you're going to want to pick up. This is the bulkiest, the biggest, the most articulated Roman Reigns yet, and I'm so happy that I get to have a first nice look at this figure. I know I'm just taking a look at it to examine it so I can review it properly. One thing I'm first noticing on the figure, and this is just a little detail that I'm sure they'll fix in the future. It's not even fixing, it's just this is not really up to date. I mean, you can consider this figure like when he first got the red gauntlet. So let's say like when he wrestled Finn Balor, the Demon Finn Balor. I think that's when he first had the red gauntlet, and he was not wearing the updated boots because Reigns has his own like logo on his boots with like the red soul or whatever it is. But there is more red, and it is not his typical SWAT boots. But this is the first time we are seeing the SWAT boots in Ultimate Edition toe articulated form. Really good ankle pivot, which is nice to see. Sometimes with these Roman Reigns figures, you don't get that great of ankle pivot, but these are cool, and I like the sculpt better on the Ultimate Edition more than the regular ones. The regular ones had this giant like clown look to them, but these look more like sleek and badass like the Roman Reigns shoes in real life. But the coolest thing about this figure for me is the butterfly joint. You're going to get so many cool poses with this Roman Reigns with these butterfly joints right here, better articulation. And I think that this sculpt right here, this body definitely better represents his physique. I mean, I know he's like probably not as cut and as shredded. He probably has a little bit more body fat on him than this. The dude definitely has some big pecs, shoulders, biceps, just big arms, big chest. He's not necessarily shredded though. But what are you going to do? It's an action figure, right? It's not supposed to be like a sculpture or something like that. It is an action figure. You got to remember that. But there's the Roman Reigns. I think one thing that definitely makes the figure look better is the lats. His lats back here. Looking bigger makes him look a little bit more thicker like the real Roman Reigns. So really cool. I think the coolest part about this figure, other than the butterfly joint, is the red gauntlet that we're finally getting. So really cool that we're finally getting the red gauntlet with Mr. Reigns. We have seen this head sculpt before. It looks just like Roman Reigns. I'm not going to crap on this just because there's only so many head sculpts and different ways of forming Roman's face. I mean, he does have a regular looking face, maybe a bigger beard, right? Bigger beard for Reigns. He doesn't change that often, but maybe a bigger beard and a fade or something like that. But this does look like Reigns, the best version of this head sculpt I've seen yet. So there we have the Roman Reigns, the figure itself, and all the accessories. Let's see if we can pop the head off and put the royalty lay. I'm just going to say royalty lay. Could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. So please correct me. There's no shame in correcting me. I'm not going to be mad. So there we have Mr. Reigns. Putting this on. Does look good, right? There we have Reigns with the lay, and then you can put the t-shirt on. I don't think I'm going to put the t-shirt on just because Reigns only wears t-shirts for like the little house shows. I've seen little like footage of the house shows. And then you can put the Universal Championship over him. What's really interesting is that not a lot of people pay attention to the belts as much as I do, just because that's one of my favorite parts of wrestling is the championships. I think like winning them and the prestige and the design, I pay attention a lot about that stuff, those little details in wrestling. That Reigns doesn't hold his championship or doesn't wear it around his waist. He didn't wear the Universal title ever around his waist. He didn't start wearing championships at all around his waist until he won the WWE Championship. This time around, because the title does not have normal snaps, it has Velcro. And you can see every other WWE champion that's had that version of the championship so far, like Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, Big E, they put it on around their waist so easily. Reigns never put this around his waist because they are snaps. So if you look at Reigns, he always is wearing the WWE Championship around his waist. He's never wearing the Universal title around his waist. Paul holds the Universal title. Very interesting. But I have heard that some people are calling it the Undisputed title now and cutting out the Universal and the WWE part of it, which I think it should be called, because I think that long name is kind of ridiculous. I always get it wrong. I always call it the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship, but it's actually called the Undisputed WWE Universal Championship. So weird. I could go on for that on that topic for hours, but there's the Roman Reigns. I want to check something out though. Let's pop on this head sculpt, the little spearing head sculpt. So we could have Reigns taking the lay off. You could have him running, going for a spear. Look how badass that is. That is so awesome. And that's perfect for photography right there. You could even have him going in for the the Superman punch or whatever you want. But so cool. I love that. Super toyetic. So there we have Roman Reigns with the screaming head sculpt. You could even have him pointing at somebody, going all Goku style, just pointing at somebody, going insane. Supersonic or super, what do they call that? I'm not an anime nerd, so I don't know what they call it. Not supersonic. I have no idea. Leave it in the comments down below. But there is the Ultimate Edition Roman Reigns. Super badass. You must pick this figure up. If you pick up any Ultimate Edition figure right now, you're going to need to get this Tribal Chief because he is our Tribal Chief, and you better acknowledge him. Moving on, we have Jeff Hardy, the man, the myth, the legend. This dude is, in my opinion, one of the greatest of all time. Not in his recent years, unfortunately, but it is a true blessing to see the man still wrestling. Am I right? On the top it says the charismatic Enigma right there. He's only 6'1", does glow in the dark. This figure does not glow in the dark as far as I know. I don't think it does. Throwing that box to the side. Let's see what we got with Mr. Jeff Hardy. We get his necklace right here. Super cool we're getting that, and it is removable. How cool is that? Really neat. Then we are getting his screaming head sculpt, which looks just like Mr. Jeff. And he's got the awkward, weird haircut. The interesting thing is I hate this haircut on Jeff Hardy, but it does bring back a lot of like nostalgic memories of watching Jeff Hardy come out during that era. And I don't know. I can't hate it because it looks good on Jeff Hardy, I guess. And then we have the Brood Jeff Hardy. Yeah, the Brood Jeff Hardy. Which I don't think this was the era of Brood Jeff Hardy. Right? I believe. I don't know. I could be wrong. But he does come with a lot of pairs of hands. We get the classic Jeff Hardy gun hands right before the Swanton, so really cool. And then we also get these really melodic, I guess you could say, melodic or just Jeff Hardy whimsical, charismatic Enigma hands. I don't know. These are the Randy Orton hands, or maybe they're not. I think they're different than the Randy Orton hands. Could be wrong, but really cool that we're getting these. Slightly different from the gun hands. Getting Jeff out of the packaging. One thing I don't like about Jeff Hardy figures, I'm going to throw this out there right now, is the removable towel. It's just going to fall out. Alright, you're going to pose it around and it's going to fall out. And it's kind of hard to stay in there. So I'm the type of person to super glue this in because I don't like losing these. I like Jeff Hardy with it on, not without it. See, it just comes off so easily. It is what it is. We do get that cheetah, or not cheetah. We have zebra, not cheetah. I can't even think right now. I don't even know my African animals. Anyways, looking over here, we do have some cheetah. Oh my god, we have zebra, not cheetah. That's it. I'm not talking about it anymore. There we have the zebra. And then we have this cool thing. It kind of looks like a tail of a zebra. Maybe that's just my imagination. I don't know. But anyways, we have some good articulation with this Jeff Hardy. The towel just fall out. We're going to leave that there. I believe this is the newer torso used for the Ultimate Edition figures. We were getting that one that came with the... Was it the Ric Flair I think it came with? It was like really bulky. I just don't think it looks that good. I know it also came with the recent Jeff Hardy. It looks bulky, not that great. This is more slender, but still has muscle on it. It looks like Jeff Hardy in my opinion. We do get the butterfly joint and the awesome arm paint going throughout his arm, as well as his armband over here. This head sculpt looks really cool. His mouth is open slightly. It looks like Jeff. We also get the screaming head sculpt, which I am going to display this figure with. Jeff Hardy is always screaming because he is a maniac when it comes to stunts and flying off of stuff. I think the next Jeff Hardy, or the next Jeff Hardy-esque person, is Darby Allin. I am very impressed with Darby Allin. I'm not the biggest fan. I still prefer Jeff Hardy over him. But he has impressed me, especially with that Jeff Hardy match he had. Dream match, in my opinion. And then we do get these kick pad looking shoes. Feet. Which he doesn't wear kick pads, but use your imagination. There's the Jeff Hardy looking super cool. And you can't put his t-shirt on. I'm going to leave him shirtless just because we need to have that body paint on there. I am, on the other hand, though, going to put his necklace on. So there's so many different display options. I can't strike all of them in this one video review. I'm going to put him how I want to put him. You need to get your own copy of the figure so you can do as many crazy things as you want. You know, the point of a video review, in my opinion, is not to see every single little thing you can do with a figure. You know, I'm just showing you what you should get, because I'm going to do a lot of different things with these figures, and there's so many different poses, and you could take other figure parts and put them on the figures if you want. But the point of a video review, in my opinion, is you just see a glimpse of the figure, and then you get your own figure in hand, and you just see how amazing it is to yourself. I'm not going to spoil every single little detail, but this set is freaking awesome. Probably the best, I would say the best Ultimate Edition line, or Ultimate Edition series. I think the Brock and the Shawn Michaels was great. I know that the new Brock coming out is freaking awesome. Which, by the way, I'm going to talk about that. Brock Lesnar is coming with the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship with his side plates on there. But he does come with the blue title. And there's been a lot of people out there talking about this conspiracy, asking if Brock has ever held the blue title. If any of you pay attention, I'm not being rude, but if any of you at all pay attention to championships and the timeline of WWE and who wins the championships, you know that Brock's never won the blue Universal Championship. I think it's absurd that people don't know that he's only held the red Universal title. Maybe that's just the nerd part of me speaking, but it frustrates me when people don't know that Brock hasn't won the blue championship. He's not won the blue Universal title. It's always been Reigns. If he had won it, it would have been from Reigns. The first time he ever fought for the blue Universal Championship was against Reigns at Crown Jewel last year, where he lost. And then he lost again at WrestleMania, and then he lost again at SummerSlam. So, yeah. Also, if any of you know the record of Reigns versus Brock, I know they've had like 7 or 8 matches. I know Rollins won the first one, but if you could leave the little chart of the wins, because I think Brock's won 3 and I think Reigns has won 4. I could be wrong. I think Reigns won the battle, but who knows? I definitely recommend going to Ringside Collectibles and picking these up right now using discount code Tanner, TANN, all caps, to save 10% at checkout. I know it's only 10%, but 10% is something, and it's going to take a little chunk of money off of your order that you don't need to spend, which is really handy when it comes to budgeting your figures. So there we have Roman Reigns and Jeff Hardy and the Ultimate Edition Series 14. Check them out and pick them up today. I almost forgot. WWE Fan Talk Show.